Hello and welcome to another free code session. My name is Jason Bach, and today, get this out of the way, I'm going to work on a new analyzer for CSLA. So this is, I got my notes over here, this is issue 925. So the intent of this is that you should never be calling the constructor on a CSLA business object. There's also an analyzer that says you should only have one public constructor, which is a new with no arguments. I'm not going to differentiate whether you have arguments or not. You should just never be calling new, except if you're in a object whose type or class derives from Object Factory, because then you're actually creating an instance of it. It's a different case in CSLA, so that's the only place where it's okay. So that's what I'm going to work on right now. And I have not created an analyzer in quite a long time. So we're going to do what a lot of people do, which is copy and paste. Okay. I always love that. All right. What do I want to call this one? Oh, wait a minute. Oops. No. We don't want the code fix, because actually this one can't have a code fix. So there's got to be something in here that finds public constructors. Find save assignment, serializable, is operation method public. Oh, this is the analyzer. Okay, so what should I call this? Check? Should I call it? Naming is hard, isn't it? Find business object creation. As good a name as any. And then create a rule. So this one, we're going to be up to 11. Find business object creation. Okay. Instruction. Yep. Fine. There. Because I'm not creative, CSLA business objects should not be created outside of a object factory instance. So then we're going to grab this. This is kind of just the bookkeeping you have to do. And then we're going to create it based on object created rule. And that's it, because there is only one. Okay. Warning. Warning, warning. Should I make it a warning or should I make it an error? I like making things errors. And I never asked Rocky what so I'm going to, you know what? This is going to show if he actually reads my pull request, because he is going to be the one to decide. If he doesn't like it, I can change it. Okay. What we want to find are, go back to my notes, which are over here, is an object creation expression. Object creation expression. Okay. So, analyze, let's rename it so it's a little bit clearer. Object creation expression. Now, by the way, I think I was just saying that this will not have a code fix. The reason it won't have a code fix is because I think it's going to be really hard to say, okay, I found where you called new. So what do you want to do? Do you want to do a data portal create? Do you want to do a data portal fetch? What arguments do you want to pass in? It gets really hairy, and there's no real good way to say how to fix it. So this one won't. This will just tell you, hey, you shouldn't be doing this. All right. So I'm going to delete all this, and then we're going to find out what I need to put back in. Okay, because what I need to do is, okay, we're going to want to get the constructor node, which will be a object creation expression syntax. Okay, so then I have to see, are you a business object? So are you a stereotype? And you do that on the class. So if I say check constructor, this is actually, yeah, because you're looking at the declaration of the class, you want to make sure it does not have a constructor. I kind of need to go to reverse. I need to say, I believe something like var constructor no model, no, symbol. And then something like this for the constructor node. I never know. I say symbol here. Get an closing symbol. Get position, trajectory. No. Get symbol info. Get symbol information about a syntax node. As there's no. Well, it is a method. So we'll go with that for now. Keep in mind, I have not done, I'm doing the wrong thing. I have not done an analyzer in a long time. All right, so we want to say if var containing symbol is constructor symbol containing type, because we want to know what the type is. So if the containing symbol is a stereotype, right? Yeah. Was a business space. Well, really anything, I think, is what we want. So, what? Stupid. Okay, so that is in my extensions here. So let's come back over here. Oh. Okay, why aren't you showing that? Because that is a named type symbol. So what is this? This is a named type symbol. So it should work, right? All right. Yeah, it does. Okay. So we first say, is it, because I got my notes over here. Okay. So I found it. Now I need to see, in the context of where it's called, is it an object object factory? So we want to see caller node, caller class node, because we know they're not going to be structs. So, and I think, if I remember right, I had a find. I thought I had something like on like find parent. Yeah, I do. Okay. Okay, so this isn't syntax node extensions. Okay. So I'll come back up here. Syntax node extensions. And what I want to do is find the parent of class declaration syntax. If caller class node is not equal, no, well, okay, fine. Now I need to say what type is it. And I think I also have something to help me out here too. Is, or do I always do that? No, don't do that. No. So if I look at this, because it's on a symbol, this is where I just look at the names. So, okay. The only reason I'm going to make this check here is because I don't know what would happen if you snuck this into a, well, if you put it into a func or an action, those actually get put into the class's definition at runtime, arguably. So this should never be null, but let's be defensive. Let's get var caller class symbol is equal to context semantic model, get symbol info of the caller class node dot symbol as I type symbol. Now we just need to say got to be specifically an object factory. And so I could put a thing in here to say is object factory. Now I need the name of this. Now if I come back over here, referencing this, oh yeah, shared projects. You can't see the shared project. Let's come back over here. And because you're not there, let's go up to the shared project. So there should be a name for it somewhere. There should be. That's the. Okay. Where is an object factory? Really? What? Let's come over to the tests. Just open one up on my tests. And let's just say var object factory is equal to CSLA.object core object factory. Okay. This was not expected. Inside an object factory subclass. Where in the world is object factory? Oh. Okay. So if I go to that, there you go. Okay, so it's CSLA server object factory. All right, so let's come back over here and get rid of this. And now come over here. And what we want is object factory base, because that's what this is. Okay. So if the name is equal to object factory and the containing assembly is going to be CSLA, right? Right. Sure. Just CSLA. Otherwise, let's just keep looking through all the base types and saying, are you an object factory? Okay. That's about as good as anything. So if I come back up here, where did I put it? Okay, so if caller class symbol is object factory, okay, so let's review. I found a constructor. It is a CSLA stereotype. I look to see where it's being called. And if it's not called within an object factory, then we have a problem. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Fine, let's save that. Get rid of that. Object factory. Sure, we'll get rid of you. Get rid of you. We'll keep you. Get rid of you. And let's report the diagnostic. Don't I have... Bad, Jason, bad. I thought I would have the throw exception thing in there, and I don't. So bad. Okay, so report diagnostic of object created rule and the location. What's the location? The location of the constructor node location. Yes. Okay. Context, cancellation token throw, cancellation requested. Sure, one's fine. There's no real good rule around when to do it. Okay, so I think that's actually all I need. So it should just work, right? Let's go to the type symbol extensions tests, because what I want now is a test to say, is this an object factory, is object factory for not object factory type. So let's come down here and grab, actually let's pull this one down a little bit and make it part of one of these. Okay. So I wanted some code. And what I want to say is get the type symbol is object factory. And it should not be. Well, when it is. So now I say using CSLA server, I believe. And this is going to derive from object factory. Now, public class A derives from object factory. Let's make sure that I actually declare this right. Now, is this going to require me to implement anything? No, I don't care about those. That's okay. Okay, so there's nothing that it's going to force me to do. So now this should be true. Okay, now if I run these tests, if I run these tests, I haven't tested the analyzer yet, but this is testing the object factory code. So let's see if this passes or not. Okay, so that actually worked as expected. Yes. Okay. So now we need this one, that, and also up. And then we also need a new test. Did you add class? Tests. Yes. Oh, and then here I don't need that. Okay. All right, so this will be similar. Well, actually, okay. Well, we just want to use one of these as a okay, public sealed that. So we're going to want this method, except we're going to change it. And then we're also going to have a test method. So public, whoops. Okay, what did I, okay, so these are all analyze, okay. Analyze, go back to my notes here. Analyze when constructor is not on business object. Then we want one is on business object within object factory instance or definition. Yeah, we'll just say within object factory. I know what I mean. And then outside of object factory. Okay, so let's first get this test done. Okay, so those should be okay. All right, now if I do this, analyze when constructor is not on business object. Right. Okay. So what I need is public class A, which will have a constructor, and then public class B, which that will have just a void foo. And this we're just going to say var A is equal to new A, and that's it. And so, yeah, feels pretty stupid code, but it's Not wrong, it's just dumb. But we want to find the constructor on the find this object creation analyzer. Okay. And that should be empty. There should be nothing wrong with this. Now the next one. This is when constructor is on business object. So now we need to put in using CSLA. Put these down because reasons. So now A is going to derive from business base of A. But now we're within an object factory. And if I just remember from the test I just wrote, where is that? It's in the extensions, type symbol down. So CSLA server, yeah, okay, we're gonna need that. Just making sure. Because you never know when you make sure. So this is going to be, oh, come on. So all I have to say is object factory. Okay. Okay. So that should be okay. That should be all right because you're within an object factory. This one, though, should actually be wrong because we're going to make B not derive from object factory. And in this case, when I do think something should go wrong, it should be on business object creation. How bad did I do? One will fail. That's my guess. One will fail. And it was not planned. That was not planned at all. Okay. Okay, so what failed? Which one failed? Within object. Oh. Ooh. Okay, so that actually, that's why we do the things we do here. Okay, so what I need to do is that, and then let's run that test. And let's see why. Because that should be fine. Should be, I think. Thanks. I don't know why the CSLA project, out of all of them, like if I switch from release to debug or vice versa, it just never works. And I don't know why. I don't know why. God, I hope I'm recording. Yes, I am. Okay, good. And now my fan just kicked in massively. Maybe that's going to make the thing stutter. Oh, maybe. Who knows? Okay, so let's try debugging this. This is interesting because if this does get into the debugger, just a minor note I'm going to make here in a second. Okay. One thing that Rocky and I were talking about VB6, and I don't know why, but you know, the fact that doing anything, I haven't done anything in that in probably like 15 years. The last time I did it, I remember putting some breakpoints in and VB6 like crashing or something, and then when I brought it back up, all my breakpoints were gone. Something as simple as that, it's like, oh, how did I ever think that environment was good? Okay, so we get a constructor node, we get a constructor symbol, whose containing type is a stereotype, okay? Call it class node. So it's not null, and we determine, What? Oh, is this where I gotta say a? Okay, so I gotta say what? Declared. Get declared. Caller class. No. But why? Okay, so that actually makes me a little weird. How did the other test actually work? Oh, because I'm not going through this. That's why. Right. Okay, so this one, if I actually look at like name B. Yes, okay, so that works. So just gotta get declared. Gotta get declared. Get declared. And that gives you a symbol. We don't need the symbol there, but we need that. Okay, now let's run all the tests. Good. All right, that's expected. Last thing I'm going to do is let's ramp up this V6. I want to put a little integration test in there. Going project 0 of 2. that cracks me up. I don't know why. 0 of 2. What? I guess you're not loading one yet, so why not? So we're going to put in and add new class. We'll call it calling new tests. Okay. So we'll have public class A, which derives from the business base of A. That's all it does. Doesn't need to do anything else anymore. Oh, come on, tell me. Come on. Yes! Do the right thing. God, analyzers are awesome. Okay. Public class B, which is an object factory. CSLA server. Now this one I don't think, yeah, it's not, you don't have to worry about that being serializable because that only stays in one spot. So, yeah. Okay, so here we want to say public void foo. And we're just going to say var a is equal to a new a. And that should be okay because that's within the context of an object factory. Now, oh, let's not copy and paste. Now if I say public class C, and I say public void foo, and I say var a is equal to new a, this should, and it does. Nice. Yes. Woot. Okay, so I'll commit this later because I'm at the end of my time, so I'll put up the pull request for Rocky to look up, but that one is arguably done. And that literally took me, well, I'm at 33-ish minutes, 30-ish minutes of recording. So in a half an hour, I got an analyzer done to handle a specific case and tests and everything around it. And I don't say that to brag. Really, I don't at all. But because in part, I've done this before, though I haven't done one of these in a while, so it was a little rusty. I had to kind of remember the things to do. But this is, again, indicative of if you put the time in analyzers, you can do things like this. And as I've said many times before, if you look at the code for something like this, this is really the code you care about. And yeah, I'm calling a couple of extension methods to help, but that's okay. But it doesn't take that much at all to find the things that I'm looking for, So very, very helpful. One final thing I might do is just put question, do the null conditional, whatever they call that here, just to be safe to say, if for some reason these came back as null, that I suddenly don't break somebody and cause them to be in all sorts of pain. Just to be very defensive around all this and not do anything that could potentially trip somebody up. Okay. Though I know with the extension methods, I think by default I always check that they're not null, and then I only do stuff if they are. So I wouldn't have to do that here. I should do that here though. And then this would just be and then that could be null. And then I check to say it's not null, and I come down here and that's, okay, so that's it. That's all I would need to do. And then if I run all my tests again, I'll run them in release too, because I have to restart Visual Studio, as I just complained about. And we're good. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do today, and I'm actually kind of happy. I've had so many episodes where I think I can do something and it ends up taking 2 or 3, that I can finally end an episode where it all just worked as expected. That's a new one. So, thank you all for watching. Leave comments and questions below. See you in the next episode.